Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. As promised, as you can tell by my shirt and Campo's hat, we got New Japan Strong, Windy City Riot today. Campo is here once again. Campo.Reviews. Go check out his stuff in the description box down below. And while you're in the description box, right next to it, there's a little thumbs up button. Give that a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. Follow us on Spotify so whenever a new wrestling review drops, you'll be sure to be notified for it. So, Windy City Riot today, we are talking about the show that just happened a couple days ago.
Wow, are we on time?
We're actually on time for this one. Not like our Mania review. Our Mania review might take a while.
Well, it took me I was up real late watching it.
Yep. So,
Uh I was playing Schedule 1
oh,
and
with Putty?
and by the time I realized what time it was real late.
Yeah.
Um anyways, yeah, we watched a show about New Japan.
Yes, sir. And we'll start off with the one pre-show. Luckily, it was only like, it wasn't an hour and a half pre-show. It was just the one match, and that's it. I like
Yeah,
it.
but then there was an hour and a half wait until the show
That's
started.
true. But we got Zane J versus CJ Tino. I've never heard of CJ Tino before, but Zane J has a completely different look.
Yeah, yeah. Also the fact that they kept calling him CJT.
Yeah.
It's like there's TJP already. Like you can't do
He's in
that.
the next match.
Yeah, so it was like to me it made it seem like I was watching one match for like an hour
Yeah,
because
that's what
it
it
went
felt
from
like.
CJT to TJP and you're like, is
Yeah.
this the same match? Like it's just your brain is like hearing the same thing, right?
Yeah, but
This match was okay.
this was a fine match. At the end of the match, Zane J does win this match, and he relinquishes the Strong Survivor Championship
Which I
because
don't even know what that is.
he's moving to Japan. He's becoming a young lion, hence the reason why he was stripped of his identity. He's wearing the black trunks and
Oh,
the
I seen that
yeah,
aspect of it, which is good. But the
yeah.
thing was, what is that belt?
I don't know. It's Strong Survivor. It's like some sort of gimmick belt. They don't really explain what it is. But that's what it's not even a belt. It's just a title given to you, like a non-physical title.
Maybe it's like you survive the strong dojo, you're a
And you can go to
survivor. So
Japan. Yeah.
yeah, now you're going to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get an hour just images on screen. So at
Yeah.
least we can fast forward that. We're not missing anything there. And then we go into the main show, TJP versus Tom Lawler.
Um, I don't know. This match was, I don't want to say not good. I
Yeah.
was very uninterested throughout the whole entirety of it. It wasn't bad. It was like a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
especially we
Like,
know at this point, they even mentioned it multiple times that TJP is working without a contract. So,
yeah, but I think now that's just become a gimmick. Like, we
yeah,
don't even actually know if there's a contract or not. It could, in their contract, it could say that you have to say you're working without a contract. Like, who
okay.
knows?
Mhm.
Right? It's just because it's getting so repetitive. They even talk about
Yeah.
it with David Finlay later.
And ELP.
So it's like, well, I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
But this
I
was
don't know.
fine. I mean,
It was okay. Like there was nothing special about it. It was a match that exists. It would have been perfect on AEW Collision.
yeah. Which on AEW Collision, they postponed the match.
Did they?
They didn't even do the Adam Page match. Now it's going to be on Dynamite.
Yeah, because it's probably going to be a big name. They probably weren't sure who they were going to get, so that's why it was a wild card. And then when they realized, well, if we postpone it here, we can get this guy. That's probably why they're. It's probably Matt
Probably.
Cardona.
Maybe. But with that, we'll go into our next match. We got the or actually, we got Mina Shirakawa versus Azumi to determine the number one contendership for the Strong Women's Championship. This match was fine up until the finish.
Yeah, this is actually a really good match,
Yeah.
and it's not. I don't want to say anything bad because I really like Mina, but like the last couple matches by her, I don't know if it was because she had to work with like American wrestlers, but she
Hmm.
felt like really slow. Like it felt like she was, that
Yeah.
WWE beat where they're like waiting for things
Hmm.
and punching at the air. That's like how I was getting those vibes. But this match turned out really good.
Yeah.
But the ending is really stupid.
Yeah.
Like
It
not
wasn't
even
even a
just
long match. Like 10 minutes in, we get a double count out.
yeah, and it wasn't even just like a frustrating like one of those things designed to frustrate wrestling fans, which obviously it was, but
Hmm.
my feelings towards it wasn't because of that. It was just because it was so stupid to do it that way. Like what a
Yeah.
cop out ending. I'm not even frustrated. I just think just you should have just had this match at the
Yeah.
bigger stage if that's what you were going to do. If you were going to
Yeah.
postpone it to have it later, just do
But they're
that.
not going to redo it. And I called this after the match. I said this to myself, and sure enough, they announced it later in the show. They're going to do a three-way match now between
And then I
Monet,
was like,
Azumi.
that made it even more upsetting to me because you know what's going to happen, right? Azumi's
Mina's
going
going
to
to
pin Mina.
Mina, yeah, and this way Monet can lose the belt without losing and keep her
Yeah.
strong.
So we know that Monet's losing the belt, number one now. And number
Hmm.
two, in my opinion, I know you will probably disagree with me, but I don't see them using Azumi as a scapegoat. Mina Shirakawa is definitely the
Oh,
scapegoat.
Mina's the loser here because Mina will lose, and then Mina's gonna go because now that she's signed with AEW, she's gonna go into a feud with Monet for the TBS belt.
You think so?
Yeah, that's my theory.
I also have a weird take too. I think that like remember we were talking about the tournament
Hmm.
yesterday. I think that Hayter
Billy
will win.
Starks, Hayter did win. She's gonna be facing Chris, and
So
Monet's
hey,
gonna be facing Athena,
I think it'll come down to Athena versus Hayter, and it's going to be Athena win by some kind of shenanigan guy.
and she's gonna face Storm.
And then so what it's going to do? No, it's going to be um Hayter versus Sasha Banks in the
Hmm.
finals. Hayter's going to win. Hayter's going to beat Tony Storm for the belt, and then it's going to
Once
be
Sasha loses the belt to Mina,
and then
she's gonna
Sash
move.
or
Mm.
they're going to do a similar situation to what's about to happen here, and Athena's going to beat Sasha Banks for the belt by due to Shenanigai because of Mina Shirakawa,
Mm.
and their feud is not going to be for a belt, and then or it'll be back for the British belt. It'll be for that Rev Pro belt,
Yeah, because you don't want to double belt Athena right now.
and then Athena will lose that belt. Will lose the belt at
The
this upcoming
ROH.
Ring of Honor pay per view.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
I just
this,
that's a theory because I
yeah,
didn't really last night I was thinking about it, I'm like, wait, that kind of makes sense because they keep teasing Athena versus Sasha.
yeah, which is going to happen now.
And they clearly Athena's a way too big of a name to be on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they need to move her up to the main roster. But then again, where's Deanna Purrazzo's been in limbo? They
Yeah,
haven't
but
used her in
there's
a
a lot of
year.
rumors that they're gonna let her go when her contract expires, and she's either
Back
gonna
to
go
TNA.
to back to TNA or she's gonna go to Japan.
I say back to TNA. She had a lot of success. She could have some good feuds with Masha. She can have some good feuds
Well,
with
they desperately need it there. Like
unless the other thing I was thinking too, I know she said she'd never go, but what if we get a WWE reunion with her and Chelsea Green?
maybe. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but I do know the actual like hate she has for WWE.
Yeah.
It's similar to like Tony
It's
Storm.
more of a hate for Vince than it is for WWE.
That's fair, but you have to remember she was on NXT and Hunter
Hmm.
was running NXT at that time,
True.
and he was the one who didn't give her any TV time.
That's true too. But yeah, that's all speculation at this
Yeah.
point. We do get a double count out, and it's going to be a three-way. I don't know where it's going to be for. Is it at Resurgence, I guess?
I guess, yeah.
That would
It's
make the most sense, right?
Resurgence is clearly like what they're trying to have as a bigger card.
Yeah.
Like I can see a lot of AEW people showing up at Resurgence.
Well, we already got an announcement later in the show that the Young Bucks are making an appearance there,
Of
right in
course, it's
there.
in their hometown. Of course, they're gonna be there.
Yeah. So with that, we're gonna go on to our next match. We get the world class wrecking crew against the intergalactic jet setters for the strong openweight tag team championship match.
I think there was a lot of individually good performances in this match, but I don't think it came together as a complete match, and it
Yeah.
genuinely felt like a cop out. Like it felt like you made me watch this for no reason by the end of it. Like
Yeah.
you just selected Kushida and Kevin Knight because they're kind of names, and you wanted to just have them on a pay-per-view.
And
You
it's an
know what I mean?
AEW name now. Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't feel like they ever had a chance of winning the
No.
belt.
But at least this cements world class a little bit because,
Which is good. I like that.
and I even put down in my notes like I hope these guys have a good long run. They deserve it.
They need at least a full year
Yeah.
because you know what's
Which,
going to happen. They're definitely showing up in Tag League, and they're going to go far at the next Tag League.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and they retained this match. Kevin Knight was Kevin Knight. Kushida, I don't know. Kushida wasn't the same.
I just think he's contractless right now, and he's just taking money for matches.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's
Um,
already like considered a legend at this point. So
yeah, like so he doesn't really need anything at this point.
yeah,
So with that, we got Tomohiro Ishii and Gabe Kidd for the Strong Openweight Championship, a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Like I've come to appreciate Ishii a lot more than I have in the past because in
Hmm.
like the first year and a half ish that I was watching wrestling, I hated him.
Yeah.
But you realize that like any match you put him in is just gonna be he's just gonna do what he has to do for that match, which is like a
Yeah.
similar thing to Moose. And I don't mean to compare them because Ishii is clearly
A
way
better,
better than
yeah.
Moose. Moose is still not a great wrestler in my eyes,
But the
but
thing is,
he
Ishii, well,
knows
I
how
mean,
to do what he
yeah,
has to do.
like he really carried that Obafemi match a month back or whatever it was, right? So
Absolutely. And he has a raw ability to just do exactly what he's
yeah, what
told that
needs to
he's
be done?
supposed to
Yeah.
do. And Ishii is exactly that guy. Ishii, you put him in a match against high caliber wrestlers, he knows how to take bumps,
Hmm.
he knows how to hit hard, and
And
he'll
he's going to
make the match
deliver.
look good enough. Right? You get it. There's a typical type of match. It's like a Minoru Suzuki match. It's
Yeah.
basically they came up through the same exact
Same system. Yeah.
system. So it's like that's what you're going to get, a hard hitting match. He can move a lot better than Suzuki at this point.
Yeah.
Suzuki looks like he can't turn his body at all, even though Ishii has no neck.
Yeah.
But
But that what's it called? That promo on the pre-show, that was the best thing on that AEW
I told you
pre-show.
that was so funny, and I was just laughing. I'm
He
like,
has like
look,
at
he's
one
giving him
point he's
more
like three
microphones.
microphones.
And the best one was when he took Jeff Jarrett's mic. There was no reason for him
He just
to
took it.
have.
It
He just reached out and Jeff took it from Jeff. And then I was the only person left with a mic was
was Renee.
Renee, right? And I was like, oh, he's got to take her mic. I can see it happening, but then he just didn't. Like, I guess he was like,
Yeah,
okay,
because he
whatever.
ended up
So
RJ was it? RJ gave him his mic, right?
yeah, and then
And then
he
no, but
took
what's his name came in and took the mic from Ishii. Mark Briscoe.
no. So Mark
Yeah,
Ishii
Mark
had his
Briscoe.
own mic. Mark Briscoe came and took RJ's mic, and then he gave the mic to Ishii. So Ishii reached out and took Jeff Jarrett's
Jared's
mic.
mic. Yeah, that
Anyways,
was that, go watch that. That was the best part of the
and there was
pre-show. But
no reason at all for him to take Jeff Jarrett's
no,
mic. He just
and
literally put his hand
he
down and
kept and
took
the
it.
fact that he kept a straight face through the entire time,
He's
good on him.
literally so good at comedy.
Yeah,
Anyways, this match was actually really good.
yeah,
It
fantastic match.
I think that it was a little bit stiff in the sense that like
We did get 10 minutes of just chops at the beginning.
yeah, there wasn't enough like moves happening. It was too
Yeah,
much just like I'm a tough guy, watch what I do type
yeah,
things.
but this was very much a strong style match,
Hmm. And that's
and I
what
really
Gabe Kidd
enjoyed it.
wants to have, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to wrestle that strong style. So
Yeah. But Gabe Kidd does get the first pinfall. Then Ishii gets a pinfall right at the end of the match at the 30, almost pretty much right at the 30-minute mark. So they say they're going to go into a sudden death, and they let it go a little bit longer, maybe about a good 5 minutes. And then surprisingly, Ishii gets the second fall. Ishii wins the New Japan Strong Championship.
yeah, and it
Is
was
this to move Gabe Kidd up?
yeah, for sure. And it's to pad Ishii's career and it's to let Ishii put over somebody else. Like
Yeah.
I see them doing the same thing here that we were talking about where I can't remember what belt we were talking about specifically, but somebody's gonna win this belt. That's
The television belt
was it the TV belt?
or the straw or the open weight?
Hmm. I don't remember. But I think it was in something in AEW. Anyways, he's gonna win this belt to put over somebody young to go on a very small, short run. Oh, we were talking about the Ring of Honor belt.
The Ring of Honor
To
belt,
go on
yeah.
a very short belt run and then lose it to a big name. So that because they want to keep them that title with a big name to draw people in, right? But they
Right.
also want to give like some young person a quick run. It's probably going to be like Oiwa or one of those guys,
Yeah.
maybe Shota. It will be
No,
short,
please.
and then he'll lose it to a
I'm
big
honest.
guy.
I'm done with Shota.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
He's good. He's talented, but like, let him go away for a few months and come back.
Yeah,
But I'd rather watch someone like Oiwa. I'd rather watch someone like Ren Narita. I'd rather watch someone like Sho or Yo right now than rather watch
maybe
Suji.
maybe it's Suji. Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, and surprisingly, Ishii does win, so he's your new strong openweight champion.
Wasn't
Um,
expecting that. I'll tell you
no, and
that.
I wasn't, and I like that. I like these surprise title changes.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe even Kid might win it back at the next event.
yeah, maybe that's what the put over is, right? It's
Yeah,
definitely a put over situation.
yeah. So with that, we got LIJ members Tetsuya Naito and Titan versus ELP and Rocky Romero. They're teasing dissension in the ranks here between Romero and ELP.
Yeah. I don't know what it is because they're not even in the same faction, so I don't get
No,
it.
yeah. Like I get it, Romero is booking New Japan strong, but I don't know. But this was okay. As soon as I saw the fact that Naito didn't remove his t-shirt, I knew we were gonna get like
I was
the
gonna
I
say
don't,
this though, but for a t-shirt match from Naito,
hmm
it was like one of the better t-shirt matches we've seen,
Yeah, that's true. But I
right?
knew we not to expect much though. So I, like you said, I was pleasantly a little bit surprised by it, but I was surprised too that they won.
Yeah, I mean actually a decent match. I
Yeah,
won't call it out. Um, I think ELP was really good. Rocky did Rocky things.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what are we
There's not much to expect. Naito
yeah.
was Naito, and
Yeah.
Titan did some lucha things.
Yeah.
That's it.
Teton
Um,
was really good actually.
yeah, he
Teton was the
was.
best part of this
The
match for
Teton,
sure.
the Teton and ELP components of this match was excellent.
They're clearly trying to tell some kind of ELP story.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
ELP is going to win that belt.
yeah, ELP is going to be in Canada for a while though,
Yeah.
so we're going to see him in a month. So with that, on to the LIJ do win this. Zack Sabre Jr. versus David Finlay. This match was not originally on the card.
No, and how did you really feel about this? Because like I
I
didn't think
I
it was bad or anything,
I didn't
but
think it was bad. I just didn't care.
yeah,
This match meant nothing to me.
I know.
Mind you, this was Zack Sabre without the belt works better than Zack Sabre with the belt.
Fair enough.
I like, I get it that they gave Zack Sabre Jr. the belt to cement his career in Japan and whatnot. But Zack, as good as he is, he's not on the level as a AJ Styles or a Kenny Omega or someone like that. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's funny because I was thinking about it watching a lot of these guys. There's like two proto wrestlers that everyone just tries to be like. You're either trying to be like AJ Styles in this generation, or you're
hmm
trying to be like Kenny Omega.
yeah,
There's like two. One guy's like a little more high fly, and one guy's a little bit more on the ground. And
technical. Yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Danielson. So it's like watch these guys like Gabe Kidd and David Finlay and Zack Sabre Jr. and they're all like proto
ground
models of
physical.
those
Yeah,
exact people, right?
yeah. But yeah, I just, like I said, the match wasn't bad. I just didn't care for it. Like, Zach is in limbo. Finley just lost the championship match to Goto, so he's in limbo as well. We don't know what's next for him. So, like, I don't know. I don't. It's not a match that really needed to be, if not at least not this high up on the card.
No, for 1,000%.
Yeah. This, I think, was your buffer match. Well, the buffer match was the tag match, but
It's weird because then there's a it the championship is almost like a buffer match.
yeah, I mean, there's a reason why the main event was the main event, and Zack Sabre Jr. does win. So David Finley loses again. So
Yeah.
are they building him up, or is he just on his
I don't
way?
know.
Like,
I don't know.
because they're saying he's working without a contract too.
It's a weird situation. Like this match was not like it, again. There was more than half the matches on this, if not all the matches except one. I was just like,
Yeah,
so I like no matter what they were talking about or trying to set up here, I was just like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's basically what the show was. So Zach does win. Finley loses. We don't know where either of them go at this point. They're directionless. So with that, our title match, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Hiroki Goto defending against Shota Umino. Goto chose this match. It's not that Umino won the spot. Goto chose Umino as his opponent in this match.
yeah, and okay, I like this match. I thought it was really hard hitting, but the way that it turned into just like Goto throwing an absolute beatdown on Shota once again makes me question what they're trying to do with
Yeah, which Umino?
it doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. Like I need someone to explain to me why.
Timmy's on something right now.
Crack.
Besides that, he's actually looking up he's on Pro Fight DB. He's here right beside me. He's telling me Shota Umino's win-loss percentage. So his win-loss percentage is only at 40%.
Really?
Yeah. He's got he's got 253 wins and 370 losses all time.
Holy crap.
So like when you
How do you
have
wrestle that many matches already?
well, we're also talking prior to like he's 1-0 in AEW and he's 1-0 in All Japan.
Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah, but just in New Japan alone, like just New Japan, nothing else, no sideshows, no nothing. His record is 219 wins, 338 losses, with a win percentage of only 38%. How will you expect me to, how do you expect me to treat Umino as your next guy when he can't even win a match?
Yeah, and it's clear that you're setting up like Umino, I mean Yuya
Hmm.
and Suji and the other guy, Oiwa, as
Oiwa
clear
as your
the next
next three.
guys.
Yeah,
So Shota being someone that you're pushing as a next guy doesn't even make sense anymore. Like
yeah,
we used to talk about the big three was Yuya, Suji, and Umino, and it's not anymore. Umino
not
has
at all.
fallen into a place of like Ren Narita, where he's still
Yeah,
like valuable, but he's not a Naito, Okada,
the prestige is
Tanahashi.
not there. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were pegging this guy to be, and not in that sense, but like they were pegging this guy to be the next,
they were docking this guy to be
yeah,
the next.
Tanahashi.
But the way I see it now is he's fallen into a more of a Goto role where
Hmm.
he'll be a big name for a long time, but he's not going to get his until like they've told him dude, it's going to be like 10 years, okay? And he's like,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. And the thing is, he's not that young either. Like
I mean, he's a good wrestler. I don't get
he
the
is. He deserves better. I agree with that. Umino's what, 27? Okay, so he's still pretty young.
in Japanese, yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny. I always say that. And to translate it to English, he's young.
he's young.
He
Yeah,
in Japanese you get in Japanese wrestling you peak at like 35, where in
yeah,
normal wrestling it's like 30.
yeah. So it's like, okay, I get it, but like, and this match was fine. It wasn't a bad match. Goto just beat his ass like there was no tomorrow, though.
Yeah, and I felt good, I guess, for me. I was like, okay, you got what you
Yeah,
deserved,
yeah.
jerk. You little
But we
jerk.
we we were calling a couple of weeks ago that we thought this is where Umino might have won.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think he had his redemption arc has to go longer.
Yeah, he needs to go on a run where he just goes undefeated for like a year.
He needs to win the G1 tournament.
Yeah, that maybe he has to get his record to at least 500 first.
He specifically cannot win the title without a G1. I promise you, they won't let him win any title unless he wins the
Wins a
G1
G1.
first.
Yeah,
So I can see a year going where he wins the New Japan Cup, challenges for the belt, loses, then wins the G1, gets back, and then wins the belt. I don't know who it
yeah,
would be against at that point.
but we'll see. I mean, but Goto does retain. This was fine. I was good with it. Um, but yeah, with that, we are going our main event of the evening. Konosuke Takeshita defending the. Well, he wasn't even defending the belt. He was. It was.
No,
This was just a singles
no.
match. Against,
Special singular
yeah, but against Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's why the outcome was a little strange for me.
that he won.
Yeah,
No, he put somebody over.
which that's why I'm surprised he put somebody over.
But I think that this is like a situation where it was like he's someone who like Kenny and stuff because Tanahashi has a lot of respect for Kenny Omega
Yes.
and like he's this is the baby of Kenny of Jun Akiyama
Hmm.
of Kota Ibushi of El Generico. This is like four big names
Yeah.
vouching for this guy. Like, so he's the next thing. And in my opinion, if you
Yeah.
want to talk about the next thing, we're just named all those people in New Japan.
It's
Takeshita
Takeshita.
is the best Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, I would completely, wholeheartedly agree with that. The
And
only
so,
wrestler to ever have a three-way contract with three different companies.
and just let him vibe because you know what? I promise you, they're gonna give him the. He's at some point he'll win a CMLL belt. He'll lose all of his belts that he has,
Yeah,
and then he'll be stale for a bit. He'll go off TV for a little. Like you know how Kenny and all those guys kept showing up with like the AAA Mega Championship.
yeah,
He's gonna just show up with the CMLL belt one day and be like,
yeah.
I'm
Just, I mean, they are teasing already. We didn't talk about it in yesterday's show, but they're teasing already Okada Omega for the unification of the belts.
yeah, which is fine.
So
Um, I saw a
make
lot
it
of
an
people talking about it.
would
Sorry.
that make it an intercontinental champion
I
at
know
that point?
that's what I said last time. This is the thing that's messed up. A lot of people online are like, well, if it's associated with a tournament, so you can't just get rid of the belt. And I'm like, of course you can, because you make the tournament just
Just
a
the tournament.
tournament, and the
Like
winner gets a shot.
it's like the Owen Hart Cup. It's you get the belt, but you only get the belt because
Make
you
it
won.
so the
You don't
Continental Championship, whatever, or the
Continental Tournament
tournament, you get a shot at the
International.
international belt, and then the other one you get a shot at the world title.
Yeah.
And I think that they need to put in a tag tournament.
Yeah, they got the Continental Classic. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
They should
So,
they should have a tag tournament in AEW
yeah.
to give the tag team something to do because that like their tag division
It's
gets pops
stale.
off. It pops off for like a month and then
Hmm.
goes stale for like three, and then pops off for a month and then goes stale for like three.
Can you even know who the AEW tag champs are right now?
Of course, the Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker.
They're really good. They're
Yeah.
great, but the problem is, eventually like we're gonna run out of time on this, and it's gonna go
Hmm.
stale again,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because who's really gonna challenge them for the belt? They don't have any. It's only FTR, and then it's heel heel, and I don't know if they're gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. And FTR apparently got a new member in their ranks.
Who was it? I don't know what happened.
Garcia.
Oh yeah, but that's so Garcia turned. Is that
I
probably
think
what the
Garcia turned. I just saw the bit of the highlights where, Garcia's in the corner and Dax is offering his hand out to.
so they are trying to turn AJ, trying to turn Adam Cole face,
Hmm.
and it could be FTR because I think it's a bad move to do this, but I think they're trying to turn um the Hurt Syndicate
Hurts
into
faces.
faces
Nah, I don't like that.
because it wouldn't make sense with the MJF storyline either.
No, it wouldn't. But I don't know. We'll see where they. Let's talk about this match though. This was Tanahashi really. Let's just say Tanahashi really, really tried in this match.
Yeah, he put in a lot of effort. He climbed the ropes like 9 times and never
Hmm.
did a high fly flow. So
Yeah.
got
So
to
at
give him
least
some kind of credit.
gotta give him credit. He's got himself a new pair of pants, so they're not as
There's less ass crack.
yeah, less low rising on it. But Takeshita made him look good. In turn, Tanahashi put Takeshita over.
Yeah, it was a
And
good match.
yeah,
Surprisingly, a good match. I mean, don't take this as like me saying, "Whoa, it was
it's not a
crazy."
5 star,
No, but it's Takeshita. Basically, we've learned can just make any match good.
any match good. He can take a good match and make it better.
Yeah, and so at the
Na
end of
na
this,
na 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 na.
they kind of tease ELP.
Yes,
So I think there's a chance that on our MLP show we're going to ELP might win
Vers-
that belt, and then
versus
Takeshita will
Takeshita.
be the first challenger for it. Because that whoever wins that gauntlet wins the belt.
Yes. Oh, because yeah, that's right. ELP
I
is in
think
the
ELP
gauntlet.
will
Yeah.
win that belt, and the first challenger he'll get is going to be Takeshita.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we got some big names in that gauntlet match too. We got Josh Alexander now in that match
Yeah,
too.
you have Matt Cardona, you
Yeah.
have Rhino.
Yeah.
Like there's decent sized
So
names
that
in there.
means this show here in Toronto with Josh Alexander in the match, are we going to get our buddy in the front row again?
Oh, I hope not. But hey, in fairness, we do get to see the inauguration of two belts, the women's belt and
And
the
the
men's
men's.
belt.
And that's definitely going to Giselle Shaw.
Actually, I think that they might let Kylie Ray win.
Really?
I think they might let her win because she's associated with WWE, so it could pull name value.
Oh,
And
and then
then you
she can
have
defend it on
Giselle win
Evolve.
it
Yeah.
later. You
I
can
could
have
see
her,
that.
yeah, you can have her defend it on Evolve exactly, and then after you have Giselle win it back later.
But
Because
would that,
Giselle is designed to help you put on a good match and then lose. That's literally
yeah,
her career.
that's her career. Yeah, yeah. And I feel bad because Giselle has improved a lot since we've watched her.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just I think from a story aspect, it would make more sense to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I mean, this was a fine show. I like this one a little bit better than yesterday's AEW show.
Really,
Yeah, not a lot. I gave this a 7.4 instead of a 7.3.
really,
Yeah,
6.7.
really that low for you.
I was boring as fuck.
I actually had a good time with this. So,
It was real
wow,
boring
this
for
is
me.
this is our first widespread
Like,
disparaging.
I don't think anything here was necessarily a negative, but if
Mhm.
I've averaged out all the matches, they were like threes, three out of 5 stars, like almost every match if you average it out. So in
Okay.
the end of the day, that's a
Right.
6.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Like, I mean, I just enjoyed this more than Dynasty, and
Hey, that's fair. It's about time we had one where we weren't
yeah,
the same
we're
score.
not on the same score. Yeah. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in next week. Next week, I don't know what we have for you, but we'll have something. Only because Mania's 2 nights, we're gonna hold off on the review, kind of like what we did with AEW. Hold off on the review for the week after, and we'll just give you two big Mania shows after that. There's also NXT Stand and Deliver coming up. What else do we got? We got Rebellion coming up soon. Like, there's going to be a few big shows coming up. So make sure you stay tuned in to this channel for all your wrestling reviews. And with that out of the way, in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.